Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to the Operation Hill 100 channel where we do what? Focus on healing, humor, and hot motherfucking topics. Now, I know my nosy ass neighbors is cursing me for filth. Don't do me like that. Do not do me like that. I've had a week and this week has had me. But in any event, God is good. I'm here. I know I was supposed to go live Sunday, then go live Monday. I know. Do not kill me. I know many of you probably won't be tapped in anywho at this time because you're doing your daily routine. So I expect you guys to tune into this later. But I had to. I absolutely had to drop this today because today starts what? Lent. So I don't know. Let me see if you guys paid attention to the thumbnail. I don't know if you did, but let me just first be clear. I am not participating in Lent per se. I know Ramadan started on Friday. I know Lent starts today. I'm not particularly participating in Lent or Ramadan per se. I am doing what I did last year. I don't know if you guys remember. I did it from May to July, from May 1st to July 1st, and it was called a 60-day manifestation cleanse. I actually got it from another YouTuber. Shout out Armand Wiggins. I got it from him. But the idea behind the manifestation cleanse was that again, you want to manifest some things. And I know that I spoke to you guys in the beginning of the year around my birthday time about, everything regarding, I'm sorry, everything regarding some of my plans, some of the things I want to see come into fruition, some of the things I want to see happen. And I realized that sometimes, like we all do, you can get stagnant and complacent and forget about the things that you need to do or let them fall by the wayside when life starts lifing. And I said to myself, this year I did not want that to happen with quite a few things, right? But I also know that I am a person that can get easily distracted, and I cannot allow that to happen with these things that I have under the belt right now, right? So, one, I'm excited. I'm excited about what I plan on bringing into fruition. And number two is going to be hard because this season right here for me is called the sober and celibate season. Now, I know that that sounds absolutely crazy, but I think it's going to be a good thing. I think it's going to be a good thing. Number one on the list, sober, because I need a clear mind and a clear head, right? I need a clear mind and a clear head. And sometimes when I'm indulging in my alcoholic beverages, right? It can kind of throw me off course, and it really, really takes away from the things that I need to accomplish, because I'm just in a different headspace when I've had a drink or two, right? I want to say something about this. This single and celibate man is a part of the 60-day manifestation cleanse, but I may extend it longer than the 60 days. That's what I'm really, really thinking about. I'm really, really thinking about that. But again, we'll see how this all plays out, right? But I just wanted to come up here and share with you guys because I know I said I would be giving some tips about what I'm giving up and, for how long and what that looks like for me and yada, 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 right? So this is the plan. Number one on the list is the workout schedule, the new workout schedule, right? And let me show you guys some transformation pics so you know. So the new workout schedule, I have to work out. I have to work out. I have to work out. I'm not one of those people that can just change my diet and lose 50 billion pounds. No, I have to work out. I have to move. I come from a family of obesity, so I have to get moving and grooving, right? So I already pretty much have the workout schedule down pat. I actually started doing a little something because for me, the manifestation cleanse started Monday. It started Monday, and I know Lent starts today, and I know more people are participating in Lent. So, there's nothing wrong with that. Either way, you can kind of pick and choose what you're participating in and for whatever your reasons are, right? Like I said, for me, I'm doing a 60-day cleanse. So that means it started March 3rd. It's going to end May 3rd. And one of the things that I have to put in place is my new workout schedule, right? So that's coming into place. I honestly can't say what days for sure at the moment, only because I have some other commitments that I have to tap into. And once I get the schedule for that, then I'll know what's my official workout and recording days. But I want to commit to a new workout schedule and a new recording schedule. Definitely for the next 60 days. I want to be consistent. I want to be on top of that. Those are the two things that I need to do aside from what I do in my regular day work and so on and so forth, right? The other thing is, like I said, there will be no alcoholic beverages. That's out the window, right? There will be no caffeine. That's out the window, right? I'm trying to think about what I want to give up food wise, right? Because I'm not sure if I want to go to pescatarian lifestyle because I need the protein from chicken, but I'm also trying to think about what it looks like to intake protein in another way, right? So I'm trying to look into that. Of course, I'm going to tap into my vitamins and everything that I need to do regarding health and wealth, because what I like to do is the first half of the year is when I do all my doctor's appointments, right? So I'm over 40. I do my mammogram. I do my annual GYN appointment. I do my physical. I do all of those things the first half of the year. So my plan is to now do all of those things after my 60-day manifestation cleanse so I can just see how healthy my body is when I stick to a certain regimen. And I'm excited about that because it always feels good when your doctor can give you a clean bill of health and be like, listen, you're doing everything you're supposed to do. You're going to live 100 years. God bless you, right? So I'm excited about that. Blood work. Yes, blood work. Making sure blood work is good. That's very important for me because as I'm getting older, health is wealth. Now, I wanted to also talk about this because I don't know, I kind of got triggered by the whole what's the gentleman's name? Irv Gotti. I don't know. Something about that death triggered me, And then I seen a meme, and I really have to go find the meme, but it showed how many celebrities and famous people have passed away at young ages throughout these last couple of years due to health related issues. And these are things that can be prevented, but it's just that sometimes people, whatever stress you have in your life, whatever your daily life looks like, sometimes it's very hard for you to change some of those ways, right? So I did hear Irv Gotti's brother, Chris Gotti. He was talking on an interview and he was saying that, towards the end of Irv's road, he pretty much was committing suicide. Like, you're eating Chinese food, you're not adhering to any particular diet that would be safe for you. And I remember watching, Irv Gotti had the Drink Champs interview, but then afterwards, he came back to Drink Champs. He had the one with Ja Rule that we went live talking about where I was giving him the business. And then he had another one where he came there by himself. And you could see he visibly looked much slimmer than the last one. And it wasn't that much time apart. And he was up there saying that he was battling with diabetes. And he was saying that how his children, they pretty much want him to, subscribe to a certain diet and all these things. But he was like, I'm not living the rest of my life unhappy and not being able to eat what I want to eat. So I'm not doing that. And I remember when they said he passed away and they said he had a stroke and then they were saying it had something to do with the diabetes, it kind of made me sad because it made me think about, like, you had the opportunity to kind of shift some of these things and you actually refused to do so. So, part of me feels like that's selfish, but then the other part of me feels like, what else was going on in your life that you didn't want to do something to prevent this to live longer? If nothing else, for your children. So that triggered me. Another thing that triggered me was Wendy Williams' documentary last year. That really triggered me. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was last year around this time, March. But that really triggered me because her relationship with alcohol was so unhealthy, and again, I know how that can be when you sipping, right? So, and to a point that, look where she is now. And they're trying to say that, oh, she doesn't have these things. But I've been listening to Wendy Williams on these last couple of interviews. First of all, they refuse to do any interviews where you see her face. So, it's just audio. And then even that is still like, Wendy just sounds very, very disoriented. I mean, she's repeating herself when she needs support. She has to ask somebody else to kind of finish her sentences for her. Something is wrong. Now, do I know if it's what the freaking If it's what I know that they're trying to say it is, I honestly can't say because I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose anybody, but something is wrong. And what they were saying is a lot of that is due to her relationship with alcohol. So once again, that was another thing that triggered me to think about my health, right? And I've been thinking about this for some months now. I've been thinking about this for some months. I knew around my birthday time that around this time I would get on this path because normally A is what I do, and B is just about getting older and trying to set a new plan in place for my future. Trying to set a new plan in place for my future. So, anywho, and resetting the trajectory of my life because like I said, the majority of my family, they suffer from obesity, right? And can I say that I know we've had any deaths related to it? Not per se, but we don't want to wait until that, right? We don't want to wait until that. So it's nothing wrong with trying to be proactive and say, listen, this needs to change. And then if you have the power to change it. Because like I said, that was some of the reasons I was so disappointed in Irv Gotti, because it was like from what you're explaining right here, you literally can do something about this and you're making the choice not to. Right. So that's another thing. And what I also know about when you get serious and focused, in doing what you have to do, that really, 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 really has everything to do with your mental. I know a lot of times people think, it's everything about your physical. Oh, I gotta feel like working out, or working out is exhausting to me. I'm telling you, once you have wrapped your mind around doing something, it's very easy to kind of put it in place at that point physically. Right. And I know for me, it's not necessarily that working out is hard for me. It's just not fun for me. So I don't always love it, but I have to keep in mind that sometimes you have to do things that you don't like. And also, I know that my body gets used to it after a while. So that's pretty much the plan. It's pretty much the plan of I was watching some videos about women who are over 40 and what exercises are more helpful for them as they age. And one of the things that they explained was weightlifting. And you guys know I had talk until I was blue in the face about needing to tone up. So I have weights at home. That's going to be what I do at least 4 times a week. Because again, I need to be able to see that I'm making some progress and also to stick with something, to have consistency. That is one of the pitfalls of, my journey is I can jump into something head first and be so excited and make it happen and do what it do. And then after that, it's the pretty much the consistency that falls by the wayside, and then I forget all of the plans that I put in place. And I really don't want to do that for the season in my life, right? I really don't want to do that for the season. I'm not a baby anymore. I'm getting older, and I have some really, 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 really big plans that I want to see come into fruition this year. And the only way that I'm going to be able to do so is if I stay consistent. Okay, so one of the things that I know kept me persistent, was I told you guys I will put up a weekly schedule. So every Sunday I would sit down and go over the things I got to do, put them on a checklist, and then put them on my bedroom door. And that really helped me stay in line with the things I needed to do. And I'll even share with you guys one of the pitfalls of not doing my weekly checklist is that my license expired. I was so embarrassed and disappointed in myself. My license expired. So it expired on my birthday, but I totally forgot that they had sent me the reminder that I needed to renew it, right? So when I think the next day after my birthday, I was ordering me a little sip off for Uber Eats. And when the guy came, they scan your ID and he was like, it's no good. So I'll never forget, it was February 10th. And I'm looking at him like, what do you mean it's no good? And then I thought about it. I'm like, oh my God, it expired yesterday. And I'm there trying to explain to the guy it's only one day expired. He looking at me like, bitch, what that have to do with me? And just a whole debacle. And I remember feeling so annoyed and disappointed with myself because it was like, what the hell are you doing? Like, if I would have had my checklist up the day they sent me the reminder, I would have put it on my checklist to go renew my license. So it's just like, Khadijah, you see what happens when you tend to fall out of your schedule and the thing that you normally do to keep you on track. Look at the turnout. So that really was crazy. But also, like I said, putting up that weekly checklist, it really, really helps me stay committed to the things I got to do. So that's one of the things that I have to get back into. Another thing is journaling. I've always been, I've been a journaler literally since the 90s. I have journals from 1999, 1998. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been a person that wrote. I've always been a person that wrote, even to a point that when I have my daughter, I told you guys, a girl, I don't care what nobody say, but when I do have a baby, I'm going to, never mind, not even when she had them plans here, you'll see them in the future. But anywho, um, but I've always been a writer. And I think for me, writing is extremely therapeutic. It's always been extremely therapeutic for me to put my feelings down on paper and to kind of, even if I need to go back and look at them and so on and so forth. So journaling on a daily, something I have to get back into. Another thing I have to get back into is my spiritual um videos in the morning, my spiritual videos in the morning, sometimes, because now that I review shows, sometimes when I fall asleep, when I get up in the morning, I put the show back on and I'm there trying to catch up on it so I could review it. But in doing so, that took away from me listening to my spiritual videos in the morning. And those really set the tone for my day. Drinking tea and listening to Uncle TD really sets the tone for my day. Like, it lets me know you're going to have a good day. Things are going to go well. You're going to stay positive, just giving me some affirmations. So that's another one of the things that works for me. I have to get back in the realm of, in the morning time, setting the tone for my day, make sure I'm being, what the hell is that? I'm sorry, you guys. Yes. So setting the tone for my day, getting those daily affirmations for the things that I'm listening to, and being intentional. Intentional. That's one of the things that I know has always worked for me when I went in something with the intention to make it happen. Right. So yeah, and setting the tone for my day helps me be intentional about how the day is going to go. All right. So what I said putting up my weekly checklist. I said journaling. I said drinking my tea in the morning. I said listening to Uncle TD. I said my workout schedule. Also getting a good amount of rest. Right. So that's another thing. I noticed that when I'm not drinking alcohol, I can sleep down to the ground. Like, I can really rest. So good. So good. So good. So that's my thing. Right. I'm going to make sure I'm in bed no later than 9. Hopefully sleep by 10, and I'm up by 5. Right? That is going to be I don't care if it's the weekday or the weekend, that's what I'm sticking to. Now, maybe on the weekends, you might linger around in the bed a little longer till about 6 or 7, but I want to be awake by 5 a.m. And I really believe on the weekends, well, we'll see. We'll see what the workout schedule looks like. But that's my plan. My plan is to be in bed by 9, be asleep by 10, be up by 5, because that's what works for me. Getting a good night's rest with a clear, sober mind. And that's going to be impeccable with my workout schedule, right? Like I said, with eating, I want to go into intermittent fasting, right? My only concern about going into it is that I'm not really interested. I'm not going to lie, no shade, but I'm not really upset about my weight right now. I feel like I'm a good weight. What I do want to do is tone. And I feel like if I start intermittent fasting and changing my diet to eat a particular way, that I'm going to start losing more weight. So I'm a little nervous about that. What I'm thinking is maybe I might, you know what? Maybe I'll try both. Maybe I'll try both and I'll see what happens. So this is what I'll do. I'll start the intermittent fasting and the change diet. And then if I feel like I'm losing weight too fast, I'll let the intermittent fasting go. But for me, that would look like 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Right. So I wouldn't eat after 8 and I would start at 12. And a change diet looks like no sweets, no juice. This is pretty much just water, protein, veggies. I can eat brown rice and stuff like that, but again, yogurt in the morning and all of the things that kind of, make a well balanced diet. And then on top of that, my vitamins. Right. So these are the things that I'm willing to commit to in my 60-day manifestation cleanse. Like I said, the 2 on the top of the list is alcohol and caffeine. Those are things that I'm just not doing at all. I can kind of shift and go around how my diet is going to maneuver, right? But I wanted to share these because, like I said, I have been watching a lot of celebrity documentaries and just hearing about how people are not taking their health seriously. And as a result, this is what's happening. People are dying at 50 years old. My dad, My dad passed away at 50 years old. My sister passed away at 48 years old, both dealing with high blood pressure. So I know for me, I don't have high blood pressure, but you just never know. That could eventually develop in the future if I don't take care of myself. So that's pretty much what I'm looking at: the toning, the changing of the diet, the intermittent fasting. And then I told you guys about my sleep schedule and just committing to things that keep me focused, because I promise you, this manifestation cleanse really works. It really, really works. I'm not making this up, y'all. I did it last year from May 1st to July 1st, and everything that I wanted, it came into fruition. This is what I will say. Number one on the list, do not share what you're trying to make come into fruition. Right? Do not share what it is. You can share what you're willing to give up, but do not share what you're trying to make come into fruition. Okay? So my suggestion would be you just share what you're willing to give up. Like I told you guys, I'm giving up caffeine and alcohol. Everything else I can kind of move up and down as I see fit according to my workout schedule and the way I'm losing weight. But at the top of the list is alcohol, sex, and caffeine, right? Okay, so this is my sober and celibate season. Am I nervous? No, I've given up alcohol before. I'm not nervous at all. Am I excited? Yes, because I have like a list of things that I wrote down that I've been talking about for forever. And I feel like once I really solidify my position with God and I stay focused and I do what I have to do, seeing it all come into fruition is so exciting for me. And it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. The whole end of last year and the beginning of this year, I was in like a funk. I didn't want to do a birthday celebration. And I just kept sharing, I just don't feel like myself. I just need something new. I need something to happen. And I'm like, Khadija, the only way that happens is if you make it happen. Like, what the fuck you think? So I realized that, sweetie, God is going to move mountains when you start moving your ass. So that's the plan. That's the plan for this sober and celibate season. The plan is to really, really work my way towards my goals, because by the summer, I want to be able to roll out to you guys. Look, this is what I wrote down, and look how it all came into fruition after my hard work. Right. So no, 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 no. Nervous, not really, but excited 100%. 100%. And I'm going to say this. The reason why I said something about Lent is because normally I do observe Lent and Ramadan, right? And Lent for me isn't necessarily about the giving up piece. It's just about my relationship with God. I'm telling you, for whatever reason, April really, it's really normally April around this time of the year. And I just said this to somebody else. I do not know why it's always my hardest time of the freaking year. I lost my stepdad around this time of the year. A month or two later, I lost my sister around this time of the year. I don't know what about this time of the year is so triggering and so hard for me. But what I do know is that those are the times when I was observing Lent and Ramadan, when I was getting closer to God, when I was building my relationship with God. And like they say, the things will come at you when you're trying to stay steadfast on the path with the higher power. So for me, I just look at it as all of these things that I want to come into fruition and all of the things that I'm willing to do to make it happen. I just have to focus on my alignment with God. That's it. And I would encourage anybody that's on a journey that they want to actually see themselves come out on the other side with. I encourage you to focus on your alignment with God. Everything after that will fall into place if you just focus on that. Right. So that's why I'm trying to tell y'all, like, I'm not nervous to not drink. I'm not nervous to not have sex. I'm not nervous to incorporate a new workout schedule. None of those things make me nervous, because I know that at the front and center of those things are God. So all I have to do is focus on him, and I can focus on that. Right. So one more last thing before I go. Right. I found this so crazy. I was listening to Ashanti on Angie Martinez. She went back up there the other day on her In Real Life podcast. And as she was talking to Angie, she was saying that Angie Martinez was saying, like, wow, a lot of these things I know you shared that you're having right now, you manifested. So she was like, well, how do you do it? How did you matter of fact, I think I have it. I'll let you guys hear it. And then I'll tell you what I what happened with me, which was so crazy. I was telling a friend of mine, hold on one sec. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm like, wow. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna let you guys hear. I think it's this one. If you get the right man, you actually no, not this. Yeah, she was on her podcast in real life. I think it's this one. What is the key to your manifesting? My manifestation? What do? Do you really believe everything you say? Or is it that you pray on it? Or is it that you just absolutely pray on it? I really do pray on it. And I'm not going to lie to you. I wrote some stuff down and I put it in a Bible years ago. I moved, I found the Bible, and I was like, oh, so I definitely did that. Tell me how this goes because people might want to know how to do this. No, I'm serious. I really make a list. You write a list. I wrote the list. I wrote everything I wanted. Martinez Studio. That's right. Okay. What she else? Owns the building. Owns the building. Okay, what else? It's everything that you want. Everything that's in your heart. I wrote it down. Mm-hmm. I opened up the Bible, the scripture that it landed on. I put the paper in the Bible. I closed it. I forgot about it. You know what I mean? I just let it rock. And what is the key to okay, right? So let me tell you, I listened to this on Saturday. I was taking out the front of my hair, washing it, and I listened to this on Saturday. So when Ashanti said that, I was like, wow, I never thought of that. That's exactly what my mind said. I said, I never thought of that, right? So I'm like, okay. So what happened was I had started thinking, I was like, I have a Bible in here because Miss Nisi, shout out Miss Nisi, Rodney Barnes' mom, she had a long time ago sent me a bejeweled Bible. It's so beautiful. It's pink. I remember she sent it to me. So I was like, I know I have it in here. I was like, but if I try to look for this Bible, it's going to be the end of the world. So I started thinking in my mind, maybe I'll buy me a new one, yada, 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 because again, Ashanti talked about manifesting, and once again, I was going on a manifestation class. So the other day, there was some shifting and moving in my apartment, and the Bible resurfaced. And I'm like, oh my God, I just was saying I was looking for this Bible, right? And it turns out Ms. Nisi gave me the Bible in 2016. Beautiful Bible, right? So I'm like, oh my God, I was looking for this. So I can put my list of things that I want to come into fruition in the Bible, right? So along with it was another little Bible, right? So I did my list, I put it in a pink Bible, and something just told me open the little Bible. Do you guys know I opened the little Bible and I already had a letter in the Bible? I was like, oh my God. So I opened the letter. This letter was from 2012. This letter was from 2012. I had put, matter of fact, y'all hold on. I'm going to get the goddamn letter. Hold on. Now, let me say this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a little freaked out because I don't know who gave me this Bible. It's called New World Translation of the Holy Scriptures. I don't know who gave me this Bible. In my other Bible, Miss Nisi wrote my name in it. So I don't know who gave me this Bible, and I don't know when they gave me this Bible. But I was even more freaked out because I was like, when I heard this from Ashanti the other day, this didn't sound familiar to me. This didn't sound familiar to me. So, and normally my memory is good. I'm like, so I already knew to do this. So, anywho, I opened the Bible and it had this letter in it, right? And it says, I wrote this letter January 28th, 2012. It says that's 4:16 p.m. And it said the reason I wrote it was changes must be made. And I addressed it to God and I said, you know how we talk all the time, but I just felt like I needed to put some of our dialogue on paper and also document what I'm saying so I can go back and read this as a reminder of what I promised myself. The first thing I want to start doing ASAP is saving my money. God, I want to save up to at least $2,500. I need at all times to have at least $2,500 saved up. I want to tell y'all, I'm not even going to tell y'all that. Because y'all going to think I'm making this stuff up. Anywho, Just in case anything happens that's considered a real emergency, I'll have some funds to go into without going broke. God, I'm praying about this because my money management skills have really been bad. And that is what has caused these issues, which have led to my unhappiness. As an adult, I must learn to be more responsible. And one of the things about being responsible is saving for a rainy day. God, please guide me in the right direction to begin doing so. Also, God, I ask for motivation. Every time I put a plan in place, I let it fall through because I'm not following up with what I planned. Somewhere along the way, my motivation gets lost. God, I ask that you help me to keep my focus. If I ever plan on achieving any of my goals, I have to stay on the persistent path and follow the plans and never lose my motivation. Last but not least, God, give me patience. I know that I'm a good woman, and I know because of that, you want a man who not only compliments me, but appreciates and genuinely loves me. But I'm struggling to be patient while waiting on him. So every time someone walks into my life, I say a few nice things. They say a nice few things, and I go crazy thinking this is it. But guess what? I believe when this is it, I will know. And one, when this was it, I will know. And two, that I have to stop trying to force it. It will come at the perfect time with the perfect person, and everything about it will let me know this is it. So, God, these are my three things: become more responsible, maintain my focus and motivation, and be patient. I know, God, that all of these things won't happen tomorrow, and I also know that I must put in the footwork as well to make these things possible. I'm just asking for your guidance, love, support, and to never give up on me. My promise to you is to never give up on myself. I'm finally realizing I'm exactly where you want me to be at that time. I need to be there. Live my life. God, I love you and thank you for my past, present, and future blessings. I ask that you guide my footsteps because I'm willing to move my feet and that you allow me to live the life that you see fit for me. I love you and thank you, Daddy. I love you and miss you more than you'll ever know. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Clearly at that time, my father was the only deceased close person in my life, and that would be because that was 2012. My sister didn't die until 10 years later, stepfather, yada, yada, yada. But that really was so crazy to me. It was so crazy to me, number one, how I already knew about this putting your plans in the Bible, and I already knew about that. I already knew about that clearly because I had did it in this Bible. And then two, it resurfaced at this time. At this time, the timing of it all was so crazy. But I'm like, everything. I know for sure everything by God's design. And like I just told y'all earlier, as long as you stay in alignment with Him, whatever journey you on, you will be blessed. So in any event, I wanted to check in with you guys because I know y'all was cursing me for filth. Don't do me like that, please. I was gonna check back in today to do the shows, but I'm gonna do it tomorrow because I have something to do this evening. So I'm gonna check back in to do the shows. I'm gonna try to watch them because I did watch some of them. I didn't completely watch Married to Medicine, but I did watch some of them, and I'll check back. And I didn't watch Baddies. I tried, but I couldn't stay focused. In any event, you guys, I thank you always, always with y'all nosy asses for tuning into the neighborhood. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow where we'll go live and gossip and run our damn mouth. Until then, enjoy your day.